Welcome to Promises to Keep. This is part 2 of pages 30 through 39, and we're going to start off on page 36. If you're just starting pages 30 to 39, please go back and find part 1. On part 1, you'll be reading pages 30 to 35. We're picking up on page 36. Thank you for joining me for Promises to Keep. Please have your book open to page 36, and please make sure you are following along while you are listening. Okay, at the top of page 36, it says, Mom left Montreal in her 8th month of pregnancy to return to Los Angeles to await the birth of their first child. Dad joined her as soon as the season ended. True to his prediction, they had a boy. Jack Roosevelt, Jr. was born November 18, 1946. He was a gorgeous baby with a head full of curly black hair. Mom and Dad stayed on the West Coast surrounded by family and friends until Dad had to report for the Royals spring training. Despite my father's successes in 1946, however, it looked as though yet another Major League Baseball season would start without a black player on any team's roster. Then, on April 10, 1947, less than a week before the official opening of baseball season, the Brooklyn Dodgers played the Montreal Royals in the last game of the exhibition season. Dad hit into a double play in the 6th inning. Right after that, a history-making announcement was made. The Brooklyn Dodgers had purchased my dad's contract from the Montreal Royals. Dad trotted back to the dugout. Fans and teammates cheered. Jackie Robinson was going to the majors. Jim Crow was going down. 5 days later, Dad played his first Major League game at Ebbets Field, the Dodger Stadium in Brooklyn, New York. An exuberant crowd watched the Dodgers beat the Boston Braves 5-3. My father played first base and went hitless that game, but later that week belted out his first Major League home run when the Dodgers played the New York Giants at the Polo Grounds. And boys and girls, we see several photographs here. Let's start with the ones on page 36. Over here on the left-hand side, at the top it says, Mom holds my brother, Jackie Jr., while Dad shares in the parenting. That shows us that he helps out as well as a dad and is just as active as he is on the field at home with his family. Let's look at underneath that photograph. Here's another baseball photo, and it says, when he was on base, Dad studied the outfield. He knew exactly what had to happen in order for him to successfully steal a base. If we look at page 37, the entire page is a photograph, but the caption is on the bottom of page 36. Do you see that? The caption says, Dad crosses home plate to score his first Major League home run. That was the first of many as far as we know. Let's look at page 38. At the top, the text starts out by saying, while Dad's teammates grew to appreciate his contribution to the team, they ignored him off the field. For the first couple of months with the Dodgers, Dad stayed to himself or with one of the black sports writers. He said he felt the loneliness most when the team traveled. By June, however, things had changed. The team warmed up to my father. On train rides, they invited him to join in their card games. Eventually, Dad felt comfortable joking around with the other players. And if we look at this photograph here, the caption says, Dad used to say that it didn't matter if somebody resents you. It only mattered if you could make him respect you. 2 months into his first Major League season, My father's skill gained him the respect of his teammates and the fans. That's my dad, number 42, with Dodgers captain Pee Wee Reese, number 1. And if you know anything about Jackie Robinson and Pee Wee Reese, you know that they went on to become very close friends. Let's take a look at page 39. We see a heading at the top. Okay, this is another letter. We see a heading at the top, the Brooklyn Dodgers and affiliated clubs, spring training camp, Dodgertown, Vero Beach, Florida. I just want you to take a look at that for a moment. It starts out, my darling, and then just look at the end of the letter. There's a closing, and it says, yours always, Jack. So who do you think wrote that letter? And to whom was he writing to? You could probably guess. But let's take a look at the caption. And Sharon Robinson says, here's how my mother remembered those early major league years. Quote, during Jack's baseball career, I attended every home game. I wanted to be with him and to experience his world. After games, I talked about how it felt to sit in the stands and hear fans yell at my husband. Jack talked about how hard it was to hold back his anger. Together, we fought off pessimism and despair. We worked hard to keep our fighting spirits alive and alert. We laughed and cried together. Most importantly, Jack was neither a victim nor a martyr, as some have characterized him. We had many triumphs and victories to celebrate during his lifetime. And if you take a look, you can see a picture, and in the photograph, there's Rachel Robinson. Boys and girls, this concludes pages 36 through 39, and this is the end of part 2 of pages 30 through 39 of Promises to Keep. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you again in class.